world was at the brink of war. His father left him, he learned later what for. Gone for years, left a wife and 2 kids in a war-torn country, all living in fear. They were being persecuted with nowhere to run on an island. His kind was forced into hiding in the bomb shelter, rubber in his mouth for the impact to keep his teeth from coming out. He saw things no child should have to see, streets and rivers both flooded with casualties. Father finally returned, reunited at last. Didn't even recognize him, he ran right past. The war had ended, but he was no longer welcome in his own land. It was under new command, exiled to a place that never wanted him there. They made that quite clear and would touch and stare, cause they had never seen nobody with no brown skin. He had to be careful when he hung around them, but he got by, discovered his love for music. Jazz got on things that he just wasn't used to. Took it with him everywhere, loved it so much. Moved to America, cause he heard there was plenty there. Got an education, still kept playing. Traveled the world, came back and put his faith in the glory of God. Taught by a bass player, had sons of his own, and through them he's grown. And now they're the ones looking out for him. They love him, and I can tell you that they're proud of him. He survived the war, his life needed more, and now it's come around full circle. He takes nothing he handed for granted, and now it's come around full circle. He became his own man in his homeland, and now it's come around full circle. And understand she lives for her family, and now it's come around full circle. She came into this world not as a baby girl, but as a grown woman, cause she was pushed out to pay the bills. And since then she's been on her own. Birth certificate reads father unknown. She had an old picture of a group of men on a reservation, but didn't even know if he was one of them. Never had the time to give it any thought. The oldest of 4 and caretaker of them all. Mother unfit, so she was forced to live in foster home after orphanage. At 16 she gave birth to her first kid. Living in the projects she prayed he would outlive. Dropped out of high school, never went to college. When she walked into buildings, she was never acknowledged. She knew somehow she had to make an honest living. She used what she had and finally started singing. After she learned that God was watching over her from a bass player, the answer to her prayers. No formal education, but she got into a graduate program. She worked hard cause she was so glad to get any opportunity, and that mindset is still in her. A teacher now because that work is real to her. Made a new life for her kids out of nothing. Doctorate in hand cause she knows how to hustle, but her greatest feat is not a PhD. Her biggest accomplishment is of a higher degree. It's the fact that her sons can count on her. It's the fact that her sons can be proud of her. Knows how to hustle, works on the double, and now it's come around full circle. Love is the reason that she can rise above it, and now it's come around full circle. She takes nothing she's handed for granted, and now it's come around full circle. And understand she lives for her family, and now it's come around full circle. Yo, I met my brother in the womb. We both had to make the move late June. He was always a few steps ahead of me, but never letting me go, never forgetting me. Most of the kids at school never accepted me, so together we formed a team for whenever we moved from city to city. And it seemed every place was diverse, reflecting our own heredity. We never had that much, none of the other kids had ever seen working class like us. The amount of money they had was transparent. I couldn't relate, we never had grandparents. Moved cause a good education was needed. Ma wanted us to have more choice than she did, and ironically we were all cheated. My brother got wise quick, that's how he succeeded. I remained cause I felt love for a moment. It was never possible, my heart was just stolen. I sought something to burn that ruined all relationships. Got me what I deserved, lesson learned. A step closer to my destination. Finally left school to start my education. Life abroad saw my pain lifted. I thank God we can afford that plane ticket. And now I realize how all this came to be. Now I see what they were doing when naming me. Mother, Father, thank you for allowing me to become Badi. I hope you're proud of me. It's full circle.